Hey everybody, Trini John here from Simpler Trading. So in this video, it's going to be a little bit different than your typical free premium video, if you will. Instead of giving you a setup like I just did on Bitcoin and coin and so forth, I'm going to give you a little lesson, and I feel like this is something you could take and that will last longer than just a trade itself. I want to teach you how can you take trades and make percentages like this. So I closed out at 750% today on Meta. You can see that Melissa also had a beautiful trade up here, and we have quite a few trims we had. We had 300% on SPX yesterday, but one of her great trades yesterday was almost 700% in her um, QQQ puts. And I think it's really important to go over that. And I just want to show you really quick. So again, 591% in our puts. And then over here on my Meta trade, finally out on that trade for a whopping 750%. And I think I could have definitely could have got a lot more than that. But overall, it did work out very well. And so I want to show you a little trick and how we do things that can really help you out in your future trades. So the first thing is you probably have heard losers add to losers, which I want to say was made up by somebody that doesn't really know how to trade or have a plan. But disclaimer, all right, disclaimer. There is a such thing as adding into a loser that you shouldn't add into if it wasn't part of your original plan. And that's what I'm trying to say is like if you have an original plan to add into your trade, it's not a bad thing to do. So, coming over here, I want to show you Meta. It's up $15 today. All right, $15. And I want to show you how this trade started out. I took it, let's say I took it right up in here. It broke down. It came into a trendy level. I added. It came into another trendy level and I added. And matter of fact, it looked like something like this: one contract, 10 contracts. That was a plan of mine. And then once the 10 contracts was bought, then I started to pill off as we moved up. Now, again, how can you do something like this? Well, we always have to have a plan, and let's just kind of go forward and show you what this looks like. So let's say that we are going to get into Meta today. I'm going to identify levels that are on my chart. Now on my chart, I have what's called trendy edges that identify supply and demand. Okay. In this level, you can see there's a purple, there is an orange, and this is identifying this demand zone here that's being built at the moment. Now, some of us, because we're human, we can't wait for levels, although I encourage you to wait for them. Sometimes you'll find yourself not waiting and being impatient. Let's say that you know that you're being impatient and you decide to take a trade. Always know how much money you want to put into a trade. Let's say you put $1,000 into a trade. You look at the option and you say to yourself, okay, if I bought one here at $2.50, that's going to leave me with X amount of money left to go ahead and buy more options, 750 bucks in this case. So I buy a contract, right? It's at $250. I know that I want to stay in the trade as long as this zone is holding. I understand that my levels are supposed to be support until proven otherwise. And if they come back there, I want to add into them. And again, I'm reminding myself that I'm not being patient. So therefore, I'm going to get into the trade at a smaller allocation. But I have a reserve of 750 minus that, $750 that I can use in the event that we pull back. So I want to look at my chart and say, okay, I'll add X amount here. And if for some reason we pull all the way back here, I'll add the full amount there. If my levels work, in many cases, my levels work more than they don't. So in this case, they did work. Price then starts to pick up from our ads. Then we start trimming and selling. Now, when it comes to your very last option, the very last option that I was in before I trimmed, you'll notice on this that it says right here, it looks like Melissa's already taking some gains from this morning. But you can see right here that it says trailing stop. So what happens is that we get to a point where price is coming into a level. I look at my option. Let's say that it's going for $1.75. What we like to do is use a trail stop of about 10% of this underlying option price. So in this case, my trail stop would be at around 18 cents. All right, let's just say 18 cents. So that means I set it up in my Thinkorswim in this account to have a trail stop of 0.18. That means in most cases, unless something really big were to happen in the market, that means as price is pushing up, my trail stop's going to follow it. Okay. And what it should mean is that I shouldn't lose more than about $18, $20 from wherever the peak is of this price. Okay. So in this case, price pushed up really fast. It came back down and I was stopped out for that 750%. So my lesson for you today is that it doesn't necessarily mean anything to say that losers add to losers. If you have an open mind and you understand that you are not a perfect trader, okay, you're not a perfect trader and that things will go against you sometimes, then you have more of an open mind. You're at a Zen state. You understand that you can't be perfect and that there are levels that you trust in. They don't have to be my levels, they could be your levels, but you trust in them. And when price gets there, you are committed to your levels, you are confident in your levels, and you are at peace with your allocation. Then I think that you will find that you will have better success in your trading and you won't find yourself being so scared. Very, very important for you to understand that. So remember, the moral of the story is have a process, know where your entries are, know where your targets are, know what your allocation is, and understand that when you get to that final level, how to put a trail stop in. Before we end this video, I want to remind everybody that we have an upcoming webinar coming on the 24th, which is going to be next Wednesday. And I am super excited for this because I get to show off Melissa, which is, as you know, a professional trader here at Simpler Trading. She found trendy trading 2 years ago, maybe less than 2 years ago, and she never looked back. She learned her process. She honed in on it. She journaled, and she still journals every single day. And she's been able to grow her account 5 times. And in 2024 has grown her account for the final time. Not the final time, I shouldn't say that. But she's grown her account once more 100%. And she's going to reset that account. And we are going to have a challenge right in here. So for the specifics, be there on Wednesday. Sign up for the free webinar. We'll talk a little bit about how we approach trading, how she approaches trading, and why the trendy methodology has changed her course of trading. I can't wait to see you guys there. I hope you enjoy this video. Have an amazing day.
Without Simpler Trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me